my channel. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Mika. Thank you so much for stopping in. So today let's talk about prayer being the greatest strength that you have, that you would ever have, if you use it the right way, if you do it the right way, if you're consistent, if you're honest, if you're not just trying to pray just to get something out of it. God loves us so much that He wants to bless you with the things that you want, as long as it's within His will. And He wants to protect you from things that you may not see coming. He may take away some friends. He may add some friends that may be different than the friends that you were used to hanging out with. Or He may send people to that you can date that are different from the normal people you may date. And it's just a way to just show you the things that He really has for you, to kind of lead you up to that true friendship that He has for you, that true relationship that He has for you, that will lead into the marriage that He has designed for your life, if that's what He has ordained for your life. Now, disclaimer, I am not in any way trying to put my religious beliefs on anyone or to make you a believer in Jesus Christ or in God. But I'm just saying, it was something that came to me. I tried to get out of talking about it, but God was like, you're going to do what I said. So I am going to talk about it today. This was not supposed to be today's topic from my perspective, but it was on my heart. So I am going to talk about it because I want to be obedient. So when we are going through anything in life, big, small, and in between, we can always turn to God. No matter what sins we're living in, we all have sins. None of us are washed clean. Even when we said, oh, I've been washed clean, I've been made brand new. That's just a saying that, just helps us to say, oh, you're made clean. Your old sins are being washed away. But you can never, ever get rid of sin, ever, because we're born into sin. Our world is sin. Our flesh is sin. So it's like a blemish that will always be there. We just can kind of keep it clean. We don't have to become consumed in our flesh or consumed in the world, but we will, with the help of God and prayer, because really that's all we have. That's the only strength that we have. We'll be able to stay as clean as possible. So I know that, everyone's prayer life is different and everyone's prayer reasons are different, as well as your relationship and the way that you talk to Him. Some of us talk to Him just like I'm talking to you right now. Some of us get on our hands and knees. Some of us have prayer closets. Some of us go to the church. Whatever your way is, there is no right or wrong way, as long as you're doing it, as long as you are connecting with God, connecting with Jesus, connecting with what you believe in, what your higher power is for you. As long as you're doing that, nobody can tell you that you're wrong. I can't tell you you're wrong. I can't tell you you're praying to the wrong person, praying to the wrong spirits. I can't tell you, how you need to pray in the ways that I pray. I can't tell you how much time you need to spend praying. That's personal between you and your maker and who you believe is to be the God of your life. And, for me, it is God and it is Jesus. So I know that prayer works. And it's not in a way of saying, I'm going to rub the bottle and boom, there goes my blessing. There goes what I'm praying for. Prayer had, over the years, I started learning about prayer and having a prayer life when I was 11 or 12. And I did it on my own. I was going to church. I was brought up in church. So, you hear about prayer life and things like that. My mom didn't really sit down and with me and say, the importance of prayer, or she didn't really pray herself. So it wasn't like I was just in a home that we was just, oh, holier than thou. It wasn't nothing like that. But I remember being 11 or 12, just going through it. I was going through it. I had girls that hated my guts. But when I think back on it now, I'm like, I know why. But back then I didn't understand. Back then I used to take my Bible to school. Like, we had reading time. So we had a class where we just did reading and journaling. And during that class, I would just read a few scriptures. I didn't even know what I was reading. I just was just reading. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's what God called me to do. But, that's what I used to do in middle school and high school. And I never seen me as anything different than anyone else. But obviously, they see me as trying to be better than them, or they may have felt that I was better than them, and they hated my guts. When I say hate, y'all, I mean they hated my guts. They used to threaten me all the time. Like, I didn't even know the girls' names for a long time. We just rode the bus home together. We had a few classes together, and they would taunt me. They would say that, you know, I was a devil, that I was evil, that I was going to go to hell. They would say I was ugly. They would just say, like, that something about me they just didn't like. They couldn't stand me. They used to say that they wanted to beat me up. I used to get threats that my face was going to be busted after I got the school bus all the time, every day. It was like tormenting. And I wouldn't really talk to my mom about it because I remember when I did, I don't think that she meant it in a way to just dismiss my feelings. But when I did bring it to her that these girls was saying they was going to bust my face and, you know, that they was going to bust out my teeth and all this crazy stuff. Like, I honestly did not do anything to these girls. Did not. But anyway, let me tell you. I remember talking to my mom about it, and she was like, well, if they hit you, you better fight them back. And it was like that type of attitude. And I was just like, Mom, I need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, come to the bus stop with me or something. Like, she wasn't that kind of mama. And I understand she was young, you know, and so she just looked at it like, well, you know, hold your own. And I remember that, like, during that time, I was going to church, and they would always talk about just ask God for what you need, and he's going to answer for you. He's going to, you know, provide and protect for you. And I just, you know, I just was like, you know, what else do I have to lose? I couldn't go to the park. Me and my sister would go to the park, and they'll come to the park just like if they see me at the park. Like, I was like a big kid for a really long time, so I really didn't care about what, you know, they was into boys and stuff. And what another problem was that a lot of the boys that they liked me, but I was such a tomboy back then. I didn't like boys. I was terrified of trying to like a boy because my mom used to be like, girl, don't you do it. Like, don't make me hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So I was like terrified of even looking at a boy. But I found out, you know, there was a lot of boys that liked me. And I didn't really talk to people. I was really, really introverted. In middle school especially. I kind of broke out of it like in 11th grade. But I was more introverted. And they didn't like that. They didn't like the fact, even though I was not giving these boys any attention, I wasn't giving them any attention, they still wanted to beat my brains out. Like, that's just how they made it seem. So, you know, I would go to the park, and, you know, they would just come over there in, like, groups and be like, you know, you lucky we won't drag you right now. Like, we're going to beat you up. Like, they would constantly do that. And I was so sensitive back then. I would just cry because I'd be like, why don't y'all like me? Like, I don't even care if you like me or not, but why do y'all want to hurt me? Like, I didn't understand. And I wasn't a fighter. I was, you know, real soft and timid. And, you know, I was minding my own business. I didn't even want friends because I did not want to be in a position where I would end up in a fight. That's just how scary I was back then. And, you know, they just, all 6th through 8th grade, they tormented me. That's just what's their thing. It was tormenting. But what the point I'm trying to make is, during that time, I was constantly praying, and I didn't know really what, like, looking back on it now, I'm like, I see how God worked. I see how he moved in my life. And back then, it's like, I would just pray, even when I didn't really fight things. So, you know, I don't know what I expected to happen. I would just talk to God. Like, I would just pray to him. Like, anytime anything go on, even at school, if they're picking on me, I would just put my head down and just pray to God in my head and in my heart. Or I would go to the bathroom and just pray, because I was scared, you know, because I was like, these girls are saying these terrible things to me, you know, making all these threats and threatening to, you know, just brutalize me. And, you know, my mom saying, like, hold my own. I don't have nobody to help me, and I don't have friends, you know. And so I was just like, let me just continue to pray. And that's what I did. And through that whole 6th to 8th grade, it's crazy how God worked, because they would literally come right in my face. And, like, they would come up to me like, ooh, you're so lucky. Ooh, I just want to punch you so bad. Like, in my face, y'all, but would not touch me. Would not touch me. And I know that was God, because there was plenty of other girls that they did that too, and they literally would fight those girls. It was just something about me. And it wasn't even me, like, me as a person. It was something about the spirit that God had given me because he was connected to my spirit. And because I was a child and I was more innocent back then, he was more on me. So I was allowing him into my spirit. Just like how a lot of times we're allowing demons into our spirits and we don't even know it. It's just from, just envying celebrities and just loving their music and just sucking it all in, and it just gets into us. Well, I was doing that with God. I was, I really wasn't trying to be vengeful about it or spiteful or being like, oh yeah, God's going to get me. Like, it wasn't even like that. It was just, that's what I would do. And so I learned from a very early age that prayer works. And even if it doesn't look like it is, it's working. God hears you. He hears your heart. When you're not coming just trying to be malicious or trying to wish harm on other people. Because there's some people who be like, oh, I prayed for somebody's downfall. Stay away from me. Because what God are you praying to? Because my God is not going to sit back and listen to you pray for somebody's downfall. Because that's going to come right back on you real fast. And it's not going to be... It ain't going to work the way that you think it's going to work. So, I was just, I don't know. I just learned that it just working. It sticks with me. And now when I pray to God, it's not always to ask for stuff. It's to give thanks. And when I think back to times like that, it just excites my spirit because that's a reminder that when you are more childlike in your heart and your spirit is willing to accept God and accept Jesus into your life, the amazing things that he would do for you. And going back to that 6th through 8th grade period, I didn't realize I was just blossoming. Those girls hated me all that time. But then at the end of the day, when we got to 8th grade, they were trying to be my friend. They were trying to, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, they apologized to me. I never asked them to apologize. I didn't threaten them. I didn't boss up or beast up, whatever y'all want to call it. I didn't get, like, okay, I'm angry now. I'm about to take my anger out. I was still that same calm, timid girl. And God allowed them to come to me and apologize. They came to me and apologized. And then even on top of that, those same boys that liked me, that I didn't pay no attention to, they even told them in their face and in my face, like they told me that they like me. They've been liking me since 6th grade. They think I'm beautiful right in those girls' faces. See how wonderful God works? Like, you can try to be evil. You can try to put harm on other people. You can try to, manipulate people to do what you want them to do or try to hurt people because they seemingly have more going on than you do, which is not true. We all have something better than somebody going on. It's just the different stages we are in life, and we need to learn that. But we'll talk about that another time. But my point is, God will humble people who try to come after you and try to hurt you and try to destroy your life, take from you, whatever it is. He will humble those people right in your face so you can see it. I know those girls didn't want to apologize to me. They didn't want to be my friend. But God put it on them to come to me and apologize. And then still allowed those boys to come to me in their face and tell me that if I was willing, they would want for me to be their girlfriend, even though I didn't accept it. But it's still the point that it still happened. And all I was doing was talking to God, calling on Jesus. That's it. I didn't have to listen. They didn't touch one hair on my head. I didn't have to fight. I used to go to school. I always had my Bible in my book bag. That was just me. It wasn't even nothing. It was not trying to be vengeful or nothing. It was just what I believed. It's just like if you had a family member, or one of your parents passed away, and you always carry their picture with you or something. That's how I felt about my father. It truly is. That's how I felt. Like, that was my protection, and that's how I felt like God was near me. I still have my Bible. And so prayer works. You go to God and you be honest. Stop trying to be hard. Stop trying to do things on your own. Stop trying to create this fantasy world that you are your own God in your own life, because it's not going to work. The only way that you can actually get through this thing called life, and really things will start to fall in line for you is when you surrender to God, you give up. And it's not even hard, y'all. You make it harder than what it has to be. We always want to think about, oh, I have to give this up, I gotta give these friends up, I gotta stop sleeping with this person without being married. Okay, and if that's what God called you to do, what's the harm in that? Wouldn't you rather have a smoother life? Not gonna be easy, because stuff is still gonna come to you, trust me. But wouldn't you rather have a smoother life and then have peace knowing that once this life is over, in the next life, you're going to be able to live more peaceful and more happy and more joyous in heaven, if that's what you believe, of course. But wouldn't you rather know that, okay, after this life is over, I'll get to be with my Father. And I don't have to live in hell, struggle through life, trying to do things on my own that you would never be able to succeed at, I promise you, and then die and go to hell. You see what I'm saying? Like, we make things harder than what we have to. And it's not even necessarily us, it's the demons. Because that's you know, this is Satan's world, honestly. I mean, look at all the stuff that's going on. So, of course, you know, he makes us feel like, oh, you're going to have to give that up. You're going to have to stop listening to this music. It ain't that hard, y'all. And God is not all like, you better not listen to. Like, it depends on what you listen to. Like, I still listen to old school R&B. You know, you just know your spirit. God will get into your spirit and he'll let you know, like, no, that ain't for you. I can't listen to music to talk about sex because it triggers me to want to have sex. I can't listen to music that talks about fighting and violence and all that kind of stuff because it triggers me to want to fight. It triggers my anger from my childhood, people picking on me and stuff. It triggers that. So God lets me know that's for me. Some other people, you can still walk with God and you might better hear some stuff, listen to some things from time to time, and it don't do anything to you. But everybody's walk is specific to them. It's personal between you and God. And, you know, when you get that connection and you're able to just talk to him. That's it. I'm in my car. Oh, God, guess what? At work. Oh, my God. God, help me with this because, help me. You know, if I feel like I need it, I don't care. I'm going to talk to him. I don't always have to get on my knees to be in prayer. And I think sometimes we forget that. We think that that's the only way we can pray. Because when I was new, you know, young, you know, when I first got into talking to God, that was what I believed. You couldn't pray unless your eyes was closed, your head would bow, and you were on your knees. That's what I believed. But now I understand you can talk to God anytime. You can call his name. There's so many times I almost got an accident and I can say Jesus or God, and they're boom right on it, and then split second, pop, car stop. I'm like this close to the person's car, or the person swerved because they almost hit me. Nothing happens. We go about our business. But God just calls for us to have faith in what you're talking to him about. Don't come to him with an unbelieving heart and expect him to change things in your life. Don't come to him with a cold heart and being unforgiving or being unwilling to change, because he can't make any changes in your life. He can't move in your life if that's how you are. But you let me know what you think. Again, my video is not to try to persuade you to join, you know, my beliefs and, you know, my religion, nothing like that. And I'm not even talking religion. I'm talking relationship. Just like you want a relationship with another human being, that's all it is relationship with God. That's when the best prayers come, because he knows when you're talking to him that it's real, it's genuine. It's not just, oh, what the Bible says is. So that's great to know your word, because God likes for you to remind him of his word. So then he knows that you take his word seriously and you believe it. But he more than anything loves when you have a relationship with him. Talk to him just like I'm talking to you. Come to him with your problems. Depend on him. Stop depending on your flesh. Stop depending on weapons. Stop depending on your body. Stop depending on someone else. Depend on him. Just depend on his son. But you let me know what you think. We can agree to disagree in a positive way. And, you know, if you want to drop your testimonials, please do so. Be honest, open, you know, because someone like myself is reading your comments, and some of us just need to know. You know, we need to know your experience so if we ever cross that road, we'll know what you did or what helped you to get through it, what helped you to believe and keep on having the strength to keep pushing, so then we can apply it to our lives. Remember that no matter what you go through, it's never for you, it's for someone else. Sound crazy, but it's the truth. But you let me know what you think. Drop in the comment box below, keep the conversation going, and we will talk next time. Bye.